let's good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're doing great. So today's session, we are gonna continue our journey. The best is to quickly go through the most important things that we discussed in the previous session to make the pavement ready for continuing our journey. The thing is, we talked about the U-functs or universal functions, and we said in one of the examples that we don't need to have the mindset of using loops in a traditional way that we had in programming. You remember the example that I said it's more like Java style. So today we are gonna focus more on some samples that is one subsidiary of U-functs, and we see how drastically it changes the way of programming and ease the job for us and increases the performance. You remember that we said, for instance, if we have an array and we want to add all the elements of an array together, we just need to say add dot reduce, and then it's going to add all the elements. And if you want to have the steps to see what happened behind the scene in every single step, you're going to use accumulate. So one of the thing is, please pay specific attention to this one. It says that any function that we have in the category of U-func can compute the output of all pairs of two different inputs using the outer method. What does it mean? Imagine that you want to have everybody can see the Excel file, right? Just please confirm, because I want to make sure everybody can see the Excel file and not just Bravo. Excellent. Merci. So imagine that we want to have something like 1, then 2. Let me just like this, and we want to have the other thing like 1, 2, and we want to do the multiplication of these 2. In other words, we want to have a kind of cross table, that one is in the rows and the other one is in one column. The keyword that we need to use for that is outer. So imagine that we have X and X, and we want to do, I don't know, multiplication, summation, or whatever. We need to use what keyword? Please just confirm that you get the point. If you want to have something like multiplication and we want to use a kind of like cross table, what is the keyword that we are going to use for that? Okay, so everybody feel comfortable with that? Awesome. The other thing is, we are at the beginning of knowing something about broadcasting, but we are going to get to that in no time. We talked about this fact that if we have an option between using sum, let me just ask you, and guys, the only intention is just participating, not necessary to just participate, but just it's the best if we can do that. The question is, what if we have an option to choose between a NumPy and Panda and Python functions? For instance, you can use sum, as you see here, and you can use numpy.sum. which one is the best to use? Lovely. So everybody has this opinion that because NumPy is designed to work with large data sets, that's the best to use, right? And then we get to the point that everybody, please just go to your, let me just, before anything, as always, I forget. The @class code is 505R. I'm going to copy it for you. So if people joined us later and they asked, that would be great if you let them know. And please confirm if it works. If it works, please just let me know. Okay. Thank you very much, Luis, Haidar, Al Gore. If everybody, please go to the content, and then in the NumPy, you see that there is something here, a folder which is named data, and in that we have President Height. Would you please download that? And whenever you download that, at the same time, we need to go to Colab. Please open your Colab. And whenever you are done with downloading the President Heights.csv, and you could open Colab, typing these two cells. Whenever you are done with that and you are ready, please type 3. I'm sorry, I cannot understand what says that you missed a class. I mean, you're talking about @class? Okay, just to let you know, Negin, thank you very much. Maharshi, thank you. There is one thing. If for any reason later you found that, I'm repeating that, if for any reason you found that at near the end of the semester you exceeded the number of absence that is not allowed, just come to me, tell me that I was in the class and the application didn't work. I'm gonna fix it. So what really matters is the Excel file that I'm gonna fetch finally. So don't worry. Sometimes the glitch happens in application. Just let me know later. Okay. What do we do with the file after downloading? Okay, so first thing first, I sent the, okay, awesome. I sent the file to you guys here as well. Just first thing first, open the file and spend 30 seconds to see the nature of what we have there. And there are some things that intentionally I didn't change because I wanted you to have a little bit of idea when we get to pandas, why we use specific commands there, and why we cannot use some other commands instead. So how many columns do we see here? We have 3. One of them is order, the other one is name, and kind of not very much computer form of naming is height parentheses CM. If it was SQL or other languages, we highly recommend that first we need to rename the column, and then we start doing any manipulation on the data, right? But look at this one. And if you say that, okay, Reza, what about the Colab by itself? If you drag and drop the file here, you open this. Look, if you do not have it, you just click on this folder, and then you drag and drop that President Heights into here. And you can also double click and see what you have as sample of the data. It's going to show you the first 10 data. Please, everybody, confirm that you have no issue. You could just drag and drop, because the rest of the things that we're doing all are depend on what we are doing at the moment. So if everything works fine so far and you have no issue, please type 5. Thank you. Casey, Harlan, Anas, Zoe, Ivan, Parsa, Maharshi. Okay. I close this one to have more room to see what is happening over there, and I close this one too. And then first we need to download import NumPy. So as you see, I say that, and then we say import pandas as PD, and the same way we just have alias for it. And then we say, look at this one. We have different forms to read the content of a file. One of them is read CSV. And if your file is comma separated, and by saying comma separated, you may say that, Reza, it is a kind of Excel-like file, but this is how you can easily use Excel. You can just right-click on it and say open with, I don't know, WordPad or Notepad or something, and you're gonna see that this is nothing but a, so let's just say open with. You see that it's nothing but a comma separated file like this, right? So 1 comma George Washington comma 189. Wow, it was quite tall. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. So after that, we say data dot height, head, and then it's going to show you the first 5 rows of the data set. I encourage you to use some values inside the parentheses like 10 and try to see what is happening in that case. It's going to show you the first 10 content, right? Donald, you can just go to those friends that they had issue in downloading the file. Please go to NumPy folder, and there's a subfolder where the name is data, and then please download it from here. Okay, awesome. So after that, the thing is, here is the point, guys. Because we have those parentheses, and it's a kind of peculiar way of naming a column for any computer language. The best is to embrace it using brackets and put those single quotes. It means that, hey, don't care about any specific character that we have, whatever the name that you see inside. It could include space as well, like height in centimeter. Even if the name of the column is something strange like that, you can simply include it using this trick. But if it was a kind of normal way, you could just say data. And what is data? Data is the name of a data set that we have here. And let me just tell you one thing, guys. In Pandas, we call data sets data frame. And why the name is my pleasure. And the name is different, but the concept is totally the same. So do not worry that why we use different naming. They are absolutely the same. So after that, can I ask you to, instead of head, what is the opposite of head? Tail. So how about using tail and say 3? It's going to show you the last 3, whatchamacallit, presidents in the list, huh? If everything is clear, if you could, just follow all the commands so far, please type 1. Excellent. So I'm going to pause once in a while to make sure that if there is any question or concern. But after that, if you say just only, guys, we said heights or A or B, whatever the name of the variable is, you say go to NumPy to array, and this is going to convert that column of a data set into array. So technically, there is one typecasting is happening here. We say convert that into an array of integers, right? And it's going to, if you say print heights, it's going to show you all 41 values that we have in this array. And now it's the time for us to start calculating. And one of them is mean, the average, the standard deviation, and min, max. And we are going to just work on more stuff. People who want to copy the commands from the book, you can just follow page 62. So these are the things that we have. I'm going to wait. Take your time, try to finish. And whenever you are done, please type 2. Good question. Ali, can you see the folder sign on the left side? Here, files folder. If you click on that, you can simply drag and drop the file. Okay, the reason that it maybe, did you copy the code from the book? Did you copy the code from the book? Okay, so if that is the case, I just retype the I just copied the. It could be as simple as, for instance, president height instead of heights. Oh, I sent to 1%. So look at this one. Just copy that one and see if it works. If it's still it doesn't, don't worry. Please confirm if it works. If not, tomorrow, before or after the lab, we are going to just take care of it together. Okay. So after that, we get to something that is kind of new for us, and that is percentile. It worked. Awesome. Lovely. Yeah, Python is very picky about case sensitive and these kind of things. everybody, this is a video that we all, it's just 2-minute video, which I found very amazing to explain about percentile. It misses some few details that we are going to talk about, but this is going to give us a general idea. Some people think that percentile is very similar to percentage, which is not. So I share the link, then I mute myself because it is 2 minutes. Let's watch it together, and then we are going to come back and continue. Okay, if you could finish that and you grasp the general idea, please type 3. Okay, awesome. It was quite fascinating that just short amount of time, it explains everything. So there's one thing that I want to tell you, and you may see, and it could be a little bit, it's complaining, but saying key error is hides where it finds. Okay, so these kind of issues, I would be thankful if because either we have to share the screen and it's gonna take quite 5 minutes. So I prefer to work on every single problem like that in the lab. Okay, thank you very much. The thing is, imagine that we have people with different heights. The first thing in percentile is you say that, hey, sort the people's height in ascending order from the shorter to the shortest to the towards the tallest. So we have all people in a row already in ascending order. That's the first thing. The second thing is sometimes it happens that you see, for instance, imagine that this height of people are integers and not the float or double. Means that we have, for instance, 161, we have 163, then we have another 163, and so on and so forth. But you see that it says the percentile, the 25 percentile is 174.2. The reason for that is it calculates, imagine that we have 41 people, we don't have 100. So it calculates the point that you can find 25% of people below that. And that point is not exactly 174 or 175, and it is more towards 174, right? So don't confuse yourself. It's just a point that shows, okay, people below that height are in the first 25 percentile. So if you see that there is a precision, the reason has come from there. I hope I could, it's not very easy concept. It needs a little bit of thinking, but tomorrow I can just explain it again if you need. But if you think that it is clear now, please type 4. 3.5. 8. So awesome. Don't worry. Actually, it took time for me to know exactly why, because my brain thinks that there should be a place, but not necessarily. We say that, okay, this is the place that is 25% of people should be less than this height, but there isn't any specific person with that height. This is a pointer, right? That it divides that 25%, that kind of thing. But don't worry, we are not here to very much worry about math. We want to use math to get our job done. So here is an example. For instance, 174.25. It shows that here, the middle, the person in the middle, we call a median as well. And the thing is, if everybody yeah, there is one thing that people had concern that, yeah, what is this seaborn and so on. One of our classmates in the previous semester was kind enough, said, okay, here is the place. If instead of seaborn, you use other formats, you can see, for instance, seaborn different versions and ggplot and so on. So in future examples, we are gonna see if you change, instead of seaborn, you choose something different, it is going to give you the ability to have different color set here. So those who want to try at their end, you need no changes. Just use %matplotlib inline and then import the pyplot. Use the color set of seaborn and try this. And it's going to show you, look at the beautiful histogram that we have. The default size is 10, which you see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, sorry, from this part. From here, 1, 2, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What if we want to have more buckets to classify? So there is a chance for that. But I wait here to make sure that everybody could basically what we need for assignment 1. Yes. I already saw that almost 25, more than 25% of the team already submitted their assignments. Today and tomorrow we are going to cover almost everything that we need, but tell me if you need anything else. So don't worry, people found it very much easy to follow. It doesn't ask the others, but some people said that even considering the recording, it took just 2 hours. So you can start working on it right after the yeah. Okay, so can you please confirm that you can see something similar to this graph? If that is the case, give me the second high five, type 5, please. Yay. Diego, Nash, Lucas, Van, Peter, Zoe, Harlan, yeah. Parsa. Excellent. Bravo, Casey. Okay, merci. There is one thing, if you see, this is important to imagine that somebody asks you that, okay, you have gone through data science courses. So what is this? Oh, guys, what is the best thing that can describe these three numbers? I would be thankful if we discuss about different formats of submissions tomorrow, but if it is mentioned to use a Jupyter Notebook, it's not going to take that much time to convert it to Jupyter Notebook. Yeah. Let's discuss about these kind of things tomorrow, because I need to see. I don't recall that if I mentioned specifically Jupyter Notebook. Sum of two arrays. Okay, Rodrigo, great. Okay, if I mentioned Jupyter Notebook, please just convert it to Jupyter Notebook. It's not going to take that much time, like 30 seconds. And the reason for that is I use, I remember, I open all the files inside Jupyter Notebook and run them and see if everything is fine. Yeah, no worries. Actually, Rodrigo said quite correct. We call it vector because we have just one bracket. There is no dimension here. It's just like a series of numbers. And it is very simple when you have a series of numbers and you want to add them together. So it's going to just be the first number with the first number of the second list, and so on, the second array, and so on and so forth, right? It is very obvious. But the problem starts from the time that you want to add one number to a list, a vector of numbers. Some people could say, okay, Reza, for that case, how about adding 5 just into the first element? We don't know. Is it going to work that way or what? But if you see, if A is 0, 1, 2, then you're gonna see 5 is added to every single element of that. If I want to show you here, what were the numbers? 0, 1, 2. Okay, so the first one was, I'm sorry, 0, 1, and 2, and the second one was just 5, like that. What we actually do is this. We are going to change the dimension of the second one the way that it fits the number of elements that we have in the first. We call it's like, I mean, stretching it this way, huh? And we call it, what do we call it? Broadcasting. So that is the concept of broadcasting, but it's not always like that. It's not always easy like that. And how about this? Let's have something like ones, which contains an array of 3 by 3 ones. Here, definitely, we know that it is an array. So let's just say 1, 1, 1, and let's just make it this way. And the other number that we want to add is A, what is A? A is 0, 1, and 2. Can you please guess what could be the result of this? Lovely. Lovely. Yeah. Actually, what Enes said, because the dimension and the dimensions are not equal, we do something like this, 1 and 2. You see, I use different color codes to show that what is actually happening. The original dimension of the first one was 3 by 3. The original dimension of the second one was 1 by 3. Let's take a closer look at this one. Please, I carefully use my words. Are the dimensions, I'm not talking about the shape, are the dimensions of these two are the same, yes or no? So I just received 2 answers. It's not a trick question, guys. Yeah. So everybody agreed that the dimensions we have widths, heights, and widths and length, or height and width, whatever. We have 2 dimensions. In the number of rows, we have the difference, and in one of them, it is what? It is 1. Okay. In this one, it is 1. In the dimension that we have, in the dimension that we have difference in size, we are gonna stretch the one which is 1 into the maximum number that we have in the other, which is 3. Do you see that? We stretch that one, which is 1 here. It was 1 row. You see that? We had 1 row. We stretch it into 3 because the other side is 3. Guys, if you get that, please type 1. Okay, I'm gonna tell differently. Please be with me. Imagine that we have one matrix which is 3 by 3. The other, imagine that the other one is a matrix of 1 row and 3 columns. Do they have the same number of columns? Yes. So we don't need to touch that part. Everybody, if you got everything up to this point, please type 2. Lovely. So what is the difference? The difference is in the number of rows, huh? The one which the number of rows is 1, is minimum, is 1. We need to stretch that number which originally was 1 into the number that we have here, which is 3. So we expand 1 row all the way to 3 rows to be the same size of the other one. So originally it was 1 multiply 3. Then we stretched that 1 row into 3 to make them equal in size, so we can start doing the calculations like adding them, multiplying those 2 matrices, and so on and so forth. Is it clearer now? Okay. Let me just show you one thing. And if we go, I assure you that, guys, you're gonna get lots of examples. At the beginning, it shows a little bit confusing, especially I'm gonna just make another sheet for you to show you the parts that we need to think about, does that make sense to just follow the same approach? Okay, let's go to this one, and it starts talking about the broadcasting, and you see for something like yeah, it says that the there is one thing, and that is the beautiful thing in NumPy. Do you see that I stretched that and I said, okay, to do the calculations, we are going to stretch it into to make it like 3 by 3. The beautiful thing is, this is just to show you what makes more sense and to visualize it. It is not done stretching in the memory. So memory that is used is those parts that are in dark blue, not in the light blue. This is just to show you and to visualize it better. The memory is very efficiently used just in these parts. Does that make sense? So the question, if I ask you, in broadcasting, do we use actually the memory for the expanded part? Yes or no? Do we actually use memory for this light blue? Guys, this is important. I'm not saying why, but this is important. Tell me, is it yes or no? I want to make sure that everybody who participates, they can. Okay. See that it says that the advantage of NumPy's broadcasting is that the duplication of values doesn't actually take place. It doesn't actually occupy any space in the memory. It is just to visualize it better. It is done in an algorithm. Huh? Okay. So you said it, Ronnie. So Ronnie said it's much more efficient if we use NumPy, because actually it doesn't occupy the memory for this white light blue. Let me just go a little bit further. Look at this one. So here, imagine that we have an array of one dimension, a range of 3, which is going to be 0, 1, 2. And then we are going to reshape the same range for B, but we are going to change it into 1 column, 3 rows. Would you please just run this one? Control C. I'm going to just copy that for everybody as well. Would you please confirm that you get the same result, like A and B? If yes, please give me the third high five, type 5. Excellent. So let me just show you one thing here. We have 1, 2, 3, sorry, 0, 1, 2. Imagine that we have A, which is like that, and we have B, which is like Control C, and then right click, right click and say paste special and transpose. There we go. So we have B like this as well, huh? Just this is A. If you have any hesitation for this, I'm just gonna merge all these guys and say this is A. And well, we are going to have B pretty soon, like all this. But A, the original A is that dark blue, and the original B is that one column. If everything is clear so far, please type 1. Thank you, Ronnie. Lovely. Thank you, guys. You're awesome. 1, 2. So we are going to have this one. We stretch it this way, and we are going to have this one, huh? And simply, you can just add these two. Let me just make more room for us to have the result in somewhere like this. Very simple. You can say, now let's add similar values, and it's going to be something like this, right? So if you click on any of this, you see that these two equal values are just added to each other, right? I want to give you time to make sure you get the same result. And then if that is the case, if everything is super clear, then please type 3. Okay, I want to kick off the session with asking one question, and the intention of that question is not giving you the answer right away, but thinking about it. And tomorrow we are gonna consider more and finalize the answer. And the question is, what if instead of having one column here, if I had 2 columns there, do you think that we could do the same calculation the way that we have it here? Let me just change the result into kind of green. Do you think that we could do that? Yes or no? And the only wrong answer is the one that we keep by ourselves. Don't worry, just say, do you think that it is rational to still say we can do the add like this? Yes or no? Okay, the rest. Ronnie, Berniel, Alvaro, Ali, Algar, what do you think? Depends on what. Okay, so I repeat the question by all means. In the previous attempts that we could easily expand these two guys, one we stretched it towards the rows, and in other one we stretched it towards the columns. We had something originally. It was, let me just change this one, Control Z. It was originally was something like 1 row and 3 columns. And here we had just only, what do we call it? Let me just place it here because it was like 1 row. Yeah. For A, originally it was like that. And for B, originally it was like 3 rows and 1 column, huh? But my question was, so it was the case that we said acceptable. The question is, this is a new, let's say, don't know. The question is, what if instead of that, we have something like 2 columns here? So it's going to be 3 rows and 2 columns. Is it possible? It looks like everything is like that. So somebody has done half of the job for us, stretched it halfway. So is it possible to say still we can have C as a result of A plus B like this? Yes or no? So let's just, guys, let me just add something here. Say, okay, from now, if you get the question, please just say, is it possible? Yes or no? What do you think? So 2 people say no. I guess yes. Ali said no. So let's see. Casey said no. Okay. That's the point that I wanted to finish today's session. And tomorrow we are gonna discover if the answer is yes or no and the reason behind it. Okay. Just please note that there are 2 things that I wanted to just think about it, because it's a kind of important concept. Yeah. And if I give you the answer, the thing is, tomorrow, today, I opened the test. So would you please go to funny. Can you please confirm that you can see the quiz number 4? If you can see that, please confirm. Awesome. Great. So you have tonight and tomorrow, yeah, to answer that. The other thing is, guys, because next week is Monday is holiday and we are not going to have online session like this, but we need to have 11 quizzes. So I'm gonna design the quiz based on the content that we will cover in the coming in the next week lab. And as one-time exception, we are going to have 7 days as the time that we can answer the quiz. That's one-time exception, because I don't want that we end the semester just having 10 quizzes. I need to pick the topmost 8. So, sir, is this the only? Yes, that is why I want to have more chances for us to have. Yes, it's going to be the best or the top 8 quizzes out of 11. And don't tell anybody. Sometimes I make one extra, like 8 out of 12. Let's see. But don't tell anybody. Okay, no worries. Guys, thank you very much. Thanks for staying 4 minutes extra. I should think be the full marks only and not others. Hopefully, yes. The whole intention is just reviewing the concept. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening and see you tomorrow. Take care. Have a good one. Ciao. Bye. Bye. My pleasure. Thank you.